it's been a while. The update video for Vanya and for everyone else, but for Vanya to edit. I guess we'll probably start off with the easy one. Where am I living? I'm in Perth. Chuck up right there. But I've moved out of home about a year and a bit now. Because I finally got old enough to get on my government dole while I'm studying. But I've moved out of home. I live with a share flat with a couple of friends. And it's great. Check out some photos of the vibey living room. Says ignore the window is, the blinds fell down. The rent is cheap. But the blinds fell down, so I have wrapping paper and a calendar stuck on the window for a little bit of privacy. But I'm living in Perth. I moved out of home. It's been pretty great. And what's been keeping me busy? Well, I'm still studying. I graduated a bit after everyone else, and then I also took a gap year. So I'm currently most of my way through my engineering degree, mechanical engineering. Hopefully, manufacturing and design would be the specialty. And so that's been keeping me largely busy. But I've also got work, just retail. It's nothing special. It pays the bills. But I did, the other year I did get to do a church internship, which was fun. I got to preach and lead Bible studies at my church, which was very cool. But what about some surprises about getting into real life from high school? And I think for me, it's been more of a gradual transition. I lived at home for a while. I got a job. I took a gap year. I still live with my parents, and then it's just kind of each step is made each future step smaller and smaller almost. That it keeps it pretty chill. Over the last 7 years at this point, since I've almost 6.5 years since I left. Since I left Centani, I first lived in Bustleton, then Bunbury, did my year 11 and 12 there. I worked in pharmacy for a few years, and then I took a gap year. Well, worked in pharmacy at high school, took a gap year. I traveled to America, so I might have seen a few of you guys then, which was fun, when Angus got married. And then I've started at uni, at Curtin University, the better of the big two. We ignore the other three, because no one cares about them. Universities in Perth here. And but new hobbies wise, I'm still into D&D, still reading. Definitely want to show some great science fiction novels, the ones that I keep next to my desk in my drawers. And I've also gotten into Magic the Gathering, because start with D&D and then you just start spending hundreds of dollars of decks of cardboard. Definitely worth it. It's fun. I swear it's not an addiction. And I've also gotten into motorbikes. My mum and dad always said that we wouldn't be riding bikes in Australia, so I never got my license back in Indonesia. So I got one here instead. It's been a ton of fun. Here's a photo of my beautiful bike I'll chuck up here, or I'll ask Vanya too. Thank you. And we even hit the racetrack. Race track day. Had fun on that. And still enjoying photography, fallen in and out of that. Got into film photography recently, so I've got a lovely film camera from 50 years ago at this point. And other changes, despite year 8 choir, I've discovered I love singing, so that's been cool. But for adult wins, I got baptized the other year, which was really fun. And I got engaged a month ago, damn. Put up a photo of my beautiful fiance. So that was a big change. So filming this now because heading to check out some venues soon, which will be fun during exam season, which is also fun. Oh, loving life. And things that have changed since high school. Well, I like to think that I've grown up a little bit, faced a lot of different challenges. I look a little different. I wear glasses now. My hair is long. It's tied in a bun, but you can see the other photos. So I look a little different. And a lot of family changes have happened. My little sister Amelia's just learning to drive. Yes, my sister and fiance have the same name. It's lovely. It's just great. Max is now working in the mines. He's an adult now. He's just graduated high school and he's gone straight into the mines to earn insane money. Angus is a truck driver, delivering toilets, which is if it works. And his wife Adelie, if you remember Adelie Brown, Ashlyn's older sister, his wife. She's at a bookstore. My mum's currently midwife, and my dad is a professor at the local theological college. He's teaching mission, which is Pretty cool. But what about what I miss in Santani? I feel like I'd probably say that the tropical weather. Not necessarily the tropical weather. I enjoy the green. I can check a photo of what WA looks like, and it's very brown and red. It's not great. Beautiful spots, beautiful green spots, but also very rough. And also flat. I miss the mountains so much. I miss the mountains. I think one of the big shocks, though, like coming from that here is, well, culture shock. I did a year 11 and 12 at a public school, well, selective public school. And that was a lot. I had to really decide who I was. That's kind of where I started to go towards baptism. I had to really realize who was worth spending time with. Some of the people I used to know, I realized, hey, their crowd is not worth spending time with. They're not necessarily the best people. But yeah, that's been the updates.
Hi guys, my name is Vanya, and today I would like to share with you my current life updates. I'm currently living in Central Jakarta, and I have been living in Jakarta for the past 4 years. I live in Tanah Abang. I am currently busy working as a human capital staff in a fintech company located in southern Jakarta, Jaksel. Other than working full-time, I'm also the owner of a super micro nail art business. I paint on fake nails and sell them on Shopee. One thing that surprised me most after I graduated uni was the fact that connections can get you really far in life. Connections are important. I have no new hobbies. I'm a boring person. I keep it very consistent with myself. I still play The Sims 3 almost every weekend. And I still paint nails. It's just that I don't paint them on my natural nails anymore. I paint on fake nails. This is not a hobby, but I think about this a lot. I'm really into piercings, and I'm currently on a journey to add more to my ears. I'd like to say that I currently have 2 adult wins. The first one is finishing uni. I finished my dissertation, which was about the impacts of verbal abuse on growing children in Papua. Another adult win is that I am currently fully employed working as a human capital staff before I even attend my graduation ceremony. What changed most about me from high school is probably the fact that I am not into the crazy hair colors anymore. I mean, if you remember, I used to color my hair like super different colors, like green, blue, purple. One time I had like a whole blue, black, red, black thing. That was so crazy, but I feel like right now I'm totally over that, and I don't really color my hair anymore except the color dark brown. Another thing that changed most about me from high school is probably the fact that I used to be really insecure and not confident in who I am, and I'd like to say now that I'm pretty confident in who I am and how I present myself to others and what I look like and all that stuff. What I really miss the most in Santani is probably my family. My family still lives in Santani. If you're ever in Santani, by the way, and you really like baking, you should go to my mom's store. My mom owns a baking supply store, and her store is the best baking supply store there is in Papua. And that is a fact. So what I really miss most about HIS is the English speaking community and the Christian history or romance novels that you can find in the library. A culture shock after leaving the HIS bubble is probably adapting in Indonesian to fit myself better with people around me. That's like one of the hardest things, I feel like. I would also like to share my plan for the next couple of years of my life. I'd like to work for another 1.5 years, and then I really want to get my certification in practicing psychology. So that also means probably getting my master's in psychology. And then I am looking forward to work in the psych world in Jakarta. And then I want to open my own psych practice in Jayapura. So let's see if that is what God has in mind for me. That's all the updates from me. I hope you're all well updated in my life now. Thank you for watching.
Hi guys, Emma here. I'm joined by my puppy Erwe. No, just kidding. Her name is Pepper. I am super excited to be doing this video with you guys. I wish that I could celebrate in person, but I was just in Indo a couple months ago, and yeah, 5 years is a little embarrassing, but we're gonna move on. I have the questions pulled up so I don't forget any of them. So first of all, where am I living? I am living in the States, super upstate New York. So like 6 hours from New York City, not close. However, we are moving next week to go back to Chicago, which I'm very excited for, and I think it's just more my speed, and I missed that. So I will be there very shortly. What has been keeping me busy these days? Honestly, work. I work at a foster care agency, and there's always something going on. I mostly work with the foster parents. I do all of the legal paperwork that they need in order to keep their certification and keep kids in their home, which I honestly enjoy, but I am looking forward to whatever job I'm going to have when we get to Chicago. What is the biggest surprise about real life after graduating high school? Honestly, just how much there is to figure out, but I do really enjoy being independent and finding out ways to support myself and support my family. And yeah, it just, you kind of, I don't know, this is probably super lame, but just like finding a high of like figuring it out and like being an adult. And then once you have it figured out, like how much freedom you have to just make your life your own and what you want it to look like. So that's been exciting. Any new hobbies? Honestly, not really. I do read a lot and I enjoy being outside. I would say that's one thing that I miss about Centani, because it'd be hella snowy here. So, not a big fan, but yeah, I would say not a ton of new hobbies. I cook a lot now because I have to, which is fun. Any adult wins? Yes. So last year I graduated from university. I double majored with high honors. I did intercultural studies and women's studies. And in the future, I'm looking to hopefully get my law degree. I'm going to first look at getting my master's in social work and then my doctorate in criminal justice. That's the path I'm on. And I did get married. I'm wearing a silicone ring because I'm also pregnant and swollen everywhere. So, which is probably TMI, but I don't care. I'm having a baby boy in September and very excited about that. But also a surprise about real life. What changed most about me from high school? I just feel like I know what I want now. When I was in HIS, because I came to the MK game very late, I was just kind of floundering around, and now I know the path I want to be on, and I know what I need to do to get there, and just kind of that confidence to keep pushing forward. And yeah, college taught me a lot about the kinds of people that I don't want in my life either, and I'm not willing to compromise that. What do you miss about HIS or Centani? I kind of talked about this already, but just being outside and the sunshine all the time. Anything else? My family still lives there, so I definitely still miss them. They're all still in, or they're mostly all in Centani. Jackson is back in the States, my brother. He just graduated from Liberty. And what was a culture shock you experienced after you left the bubble? Because I came late, I thought that I'd know what America would be like when I came back, and it was completely different. So I had a harder time moving back to the States than I did moving to Indo. So just navigating what life looks like, having way more experiences than anybody else around me, because I come from a very small town where nobody even leaves the state. So yeah, that was hard. Pretty exciting. But, and then any fun fact or something else you'd like to share? I think just, yeah, life is always changing, and if any of you want to come visit Chicago, you always have a place to stay. I would love to see you. I miss you all, and I hope that you celebrate so well, and we will be reunited someday. Bye.
Hi everyone, it's been a long time. I'm Aine if you don't know me, and I'm just gonna start answering the questions. So I live in Japan now. I live in this prefecture called Niigata, and it's where it snows the most in Japan. What has been keeping me busy these days is just working, and I'm planning to hopefully be able to move to Indonesia to live there by myself, so I'm preparing for that. The biggest surprise about real life that I experienced after graduating high school is, I don't know, the more I live or the more I progress in life, it's become easier and easier. Everything just gets easier and easier, and it's not a super big surprise, but that's one of the biggest things that I've learned or realized after graduating high school. About new hobbies, I don't really have any new hobbies. I've always had the same hobbies. I've always loved listening to music, watching movies, singing, playing the piano, things like that. So those things haven't changed until now. The only things that I can call an adult win, or that people usually see as an adult win, is that I got my driver's license in 2023 and that I got a job as an online English teacher. I teach English to mostly Japanese, but also sometimes to Koreans, Taiwanese, Chinese, and people from Asia. And this is not an adult win, but the best thing that I've done after graduating high school is getting to spend a lot more time with my siblings. I have a little brother and a little sister, and because I left my home, I left my family when I was 14, I didn't have that much time to spend with them for 5 years until I graduated, except for summer breaks and things like that. So yeah, that's the best thing that I've done after graduating high school. What has changed the most about me from high school is, I think, my environment. I am part of a different community now. I live in my hometown in Japan. I go to this church that my family is a part of, and I spend time with the youth group there. So yeah, the people around me have changed, the environment around me has changed, and that's the biggest difference. What I miss most about HIS or Santani is definitely the food. I love the nasi uduk, nasi bungkus, and also the lunches that I had at school, like ayam kremes, kangkung, things like that. I can't really think of any culture shock that I experienced after I left HIS, but the most difficult thing that I've had to adjust myself to since I moved to Japan is the cold. I have been devastated by the cold here during the winters, and it's been really hard for me to adjust to the temperature difference between here and Indonesia. So that's all from me. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.
I'm living in Korea right now. I just have been helping out my parents recently. The biggest surprise about real life is that it can be really trash. That's what I learned. For the hobby, I kind of play ping pong now. Kind of got into ping pong. And the adult wins is that I can just I have freedom, and I can just do whatever I want now. Well, mostly. I actually miss like all the people back when I was in high school. They were nice people, and sometimes I miss that.
Hi everybody, I'm doing the video, finally, yay. Also, sorry for being late, as usual. No, but things have been, there have been a lot of things happening. But let's get to the questions. Where are you living now? Now I am living in Melbourne. But I will be moving to Jakarta shortly, in a couple of days. But I don't know where to go after that next. Still in the process of packing, everything's kind of messy. There's a lot of things I need to sort out, and my flight is in, well, day after tomorrow. And what's been keeping me busy recently, it's been uni, but then I had sort of just a burnout, and then a meltdown, and then a breakdown, and then things went downhill from there. Went on a relapse, yada yada yada, and now I'm dropping out. I'm going to go to rehab, I think. A psychologist or rehab, I don't know. Again, my biggest goal right now is just to go back to Jakarta first and then go from there. Biggest surprise about real life. Ooh, it'll be that people are evil. There are a lot of evil people in life, like out there, and yeah, it's just been, I got scammed, a lot of money. There's a lot of people with a lot of my money out there. God bless them, all of them. But through all of like that evil things, what stood out to me is that there is God standing in the middle of it all, making good things out of bad things. The bad things, sometimes it's the consequences of, what's it called, free choice. You know, everyone has free choice. They're free to do whatever they want. And sadly, it affects other people as well. And yeah, but you see God working through that, making good things out of bad things. New hobbies? Not really. I've just been doing music stuff. I've been, music and fashion, basically. I sing for practice. Yeah, I practice my singing stuff, and then I've been doing fashion sketches. So there's that, new hobbies. Adult wins. Have not killed myself yet. Cheers. I have not killed myself. And I don't think I will. That's an adult win right there. What changed most about me after I left? I got toughened up a lot by life. I've become more mindful though through it. You become more mindful, but also more unapologetic in the things that I do, if they are right in the eyes of God and my eyes, but mostly God's. Yeah, if I'm not doing anything wrong, why should I be apologetic? Why should I be sorry for anything, you know? Why should I be shameful? I'm feeling shameful about it. Culture shock experience after, no. Yep. What I miss most about home, I miss the peace, honestly. The peace and quiet. That's what I miss most. And I am excited to return to that. I hope I will. Very soon. I hope I will. I need it. Culture shock experience after leaving school. It would be that life is hard. Life is hard. Life is evil. Like evil. There's a lot of evil people, evil things around. So I've learned to just show the love that I have been shown from God. Yeah, I've become full-on Christian, by the way. So I guess that's a change. Found Jesus in the most unlikely places. and share a fun fact or anything else. Fun fact, I'm unemployed and a dropout, and I don't have my shit together at all. I guess that's fun. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Melina. I am currently in Abilene, Texas, where I've been living for the last 5 years. Graduated from Abilene Christian University a year ago with my Bachelor's of Arts in English. And now I'm working at Barnes & Noble, Abilene. She's brand new. She's almost a year old. Not yet. So I've been working there since we opened. And I love it. It's not my dream job, but also a little bit my dream job, you know? It's in the area. So it's been good. I really enjoy that. When I'm not at work, I'm usually outside in my yard staring at the stray cats. I do not have a cat yet. Shocker, truly. But yeah, I spend a lot of time, I have some trees in my backyard, so I spend a lot of time in a hammock. Or I'll meet up with my sister at the state parks. But yeah, hobbies, I have some. My dad taught me stained glass before he died. So I got some of his supplies, and so I've been doing that. Trying to make things out of the scraps for my siblings. So I've been working on those. I'm about to move. And so since I have a good setup here, I'm trying to kind of do as much as I can right now before I move, and I probably will not have a great place to have it set up. So mostly been doing that. I learned how to crochet. I've made a few blankets. I did it during the winter, but it's thunderstorming right now, so I might actually go do that. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of expectations for life in America. Indonesia was all I knew. So everything was different, and I didn't have expectations, so I was kind of chilling. The first year was really bad. And then the second year I got in a car crash. But the car crash meant I actually had to go to therapy for the first time. And then they medicated my anxiety that I've had my whole life. So I'm like way more functional now, which is cool. Yeah. So mental health got real bad. And then it kind of evened out. And then my dad got sick. And then my dad died. So that's mostly that really changed me. I always thought that he was gonna die young. That sounds horrific. Oh my gosh, Melina. But it was his third time having cancer. I didn't really think, I was always really afraid when he got sick. Some of y'all saw that. It was really bad my senior year when he got COVID, and I thought he was gonna die then. Apparently people didn't realize how deeply I was afraid that he was gonna die. So we've been processing that. But he died. And that was the worst thing ever to happen to me. And pretty bad things have happened around me. But that's, still pretty bad. So yeah, moving to America, the biggest, I miss HIS. I miss my home. I miss my home a lot. The community was good, but a lot of the people I loved are gone now. But my tree is still there, and my cat, and my mom. So that's mostly what I miss. Y'all are cool. But I spent a lot of time alone outside, and that was a good time. I miss our island a lot. moving to America, I've realized there's a lot less pressure on me. Being in such a small community really made everything feel like the biggest deal in the whole world, and everything is not, in fact, the biggest deal in the whole world. And it's gonna be okay. It's fine. You'll be fine. That's, oh my gosh, so stressful. So stressful. It's still stressful. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of expectations. I felt a lot of pressure, especially with my dad being the director for a lot of my life. So moving to the middle of nowhere, no one knows who I am. They don't have those expectations. And I was able to make my own community, which is fun. So I'm not all the way alone, but I got to have some, independence, some choice in my life for once. But yeah, no, I miss my cat, mostly. That's probably horrible. Wah, wah. I miss my cat and I miss the ocean. I've got rain right now, which usually I do not. Abilene, Texas. I've also I slip into a southern accent kind of a lot. But yeah, that's me.
Hello, I'm Derek Whited, and here's my answers to the questions about what I'm up to now. Number one, where are you living? I'm living in an apartment complex in Gallatin, Tennessee. It's just about 30 minutes northeast of Nashville, Tennessee, which is a little bit more famous. Number two, what has been keeping me busy these days? I'm a teacher at Liberty Creek High School here in Gallatin. I teach English language arts to seniors. So what keeps me busy outside the classroom is efforts to improve my craft and to cultivate the art of writing and appreciating literature for, I would say, the young people in my community, but I think I'm one of the young people in my community. So I guess I could say my fellow young people in my community. Number three, biggest surprise about real life after graduating high school. I was petrified at the end of high school about all the different things that I would have to get involved with as an adult, all the things that would kind of tie me down and keep me from doing what I want to do. But it turns out it's not quite that bad. You just have to be brave and push through it and work hard. So I think I was surprised by how much easier it is, provided you work hard and you're brave and grit your teeth and kind of push through. And then the difficulty becomes enjoyable. It's an enjoyable difficulty, a good challenge. Any new hobbies? The only hobby I have that I didn't have when I was in high school is smoking cigars. I love cigars. I had one this morning. I hope to spend my lifetime cultivating my taste for cigars. Any adult wins, such as, that's number four, such as bought a house, got married, graduated uni. I got married to my perfect wife, Libby, Elizabeth. I call her Libby. She's perfect. I got a bachelor's degree and I got a master's degree, both in humanities, so English, history, theology, philosophy, and so on. And I have my career as a teacher, which I plan to make into a career. It's not, what I'm doing now. It's what I hope to continue doing. I'm taking a lot of time. What changed most about you from high school? I've learned how to take things seriously, and I've come to believe that I ought to take things seriously. And as a consequence, I want to take things seriously. It's no secret that I was a goofball, didn't really care about much in high school. And that was very true. It wasn't just me being goofy. I really didn't care. It was bad. What do I miss about HIS or Centani? I miss the leisurely atmosphere of both the school and the city. I also miss the opportunities that I took for granted, especially high school. I wasted a lot of high school just goofing around, again, not taking things seriously. I had so much to learn and so much great work I could have done, but I forsook it all. So I miss the opportunities. But about it, the place actually, I would say the leisureliness of it. It's very relaxed, conducive to learning and thinking, which are the best things you can do, in my opinion. Culture shock I experienced after I've left the HIS bubble. I suppose the extent to which career advancement determines so much of what people believe and how they act and what they think of you. The great god of career is quite tyrannical. Any fun fact or something else I would like to share? Because of my experiences with OE, I'm a big backpacker now. I love to backpack. I've taken up, I've scaled well over 100 miles in the Tennessean Smoky Mountains by myself or with family or friends. It's a healing and divine experience being in those mountains. So that's me. That's what I'm up to. Yeah. Thanks for doing this, Vanya. I think this is a special thing to do. Sorry I'm late with it, but I'm happy to contribute. Miss you. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Davian. Yeah, I got a message that Vanya said she want me to record a video to answer the question. Then let's get started. The first question is, where are you living now? Well, I'm living in Changhua, a small town in Taiwan. Then next, what has been keeping you busy this day? Well, I just got my first job at a month ago. Then I think I'm busy at working at company recently. Yeah, the next question is, what is the biggest surprise about real life after graduating high school? Well, the biggest surprise is I realized that working at a company is more tiring than you're going to school. Then next, any new hobby? Well, I learned how to play poker game and mahjong a few months ago, and I found I very enjoying playing it. Then next, any adult win? Well, I got my master degree a few months ago, and I also got my my first full-time job a month ago. Then yeah, I'm really happy about that. And next, what it changed most about you from high school? Well, probably my hairstyle. And but also I've become more brave to trying things that I never do experience before. Then next, what do you miss about His and Sentani? Well, I really miss the food in Indonesia, also in Sentani. And next, I really miss the time we play Halo and other computer games in a lab, and the lab in His. That was the happiest time. That was my happiest time in Sentani and His. The next, what was the culture shock you experienced after leaving His bubble? I think, well, the most a culture shock, I think, is I realized that I have to, after leaving the His, I have to act to think more like an adult. Then yeah, I have to think more about my future. Then yeah, that gave me some pressures in my real life. And next, any fun fact or something else you would like to share? Well, the fun fact is, even I'm an adult, I'm got a master's degree and I got a job, but I also will spend some time, not just some, a lot of time in playing video games in my life. Yeah, then that's my video. Thanks.
I just recorded this, and then my phone told me to update it partway through, and I didn't realize that until I was finished talking. So here it goes again. Hello, my name is Ezra, for those of you who may have forgotten. I am living in Croydon, Sydney, Australia. What has been keeping me busy? Work, friends, D&D, family. My mum recently came back to town, and in a few days my younger brother and dad will be here as well. Just something fun to look forward to. And I regularly meet up with my younger sister as well, once every week or every other week. Biggest surprise about real life after graduating. I think the most immediate thing that took me off guard was constant need to keep track of some things. Washing and hanging up clothes, getting groceries, just everyday annoying little things that if you don't keep on top of, they'll knock you off your feet and steal away all your free time. Any new hobbies? Besides riding, nothing really comes to mind. I'm sure there are things, but yeah. Any adult wins? I finished a nursing course. I moved out of the student accommodation that I was in. Did that with a friend I made there. We're renting a place together, and he did the decoration, so it looks very nice. What changed most about you from high school? I think the big thing would be patience. I'm a lot less hasty and impatient compared to how I see how I was. But I think this is the type of question that's best answered by those around you. And I have no doubt that others would have a bunch of different answers ready for you. What do I miss most about HAS and Suntani? I think that friends and family, the community that together they made up is obviously just the biggest thing. I've been blessed to have a new Christian community around me here now where I am. But, you know, nothing is ever the same. Nothing is what the other is. Just as this is special now, you were all very special to have in my life for the time I was able to. What was a culture shock that I experienced after leaving the HAS bubble? One thing was the constant use of debit cards everywhere. One time I went to a McDonald's with a bunch of friends, and they all paid by card at the automatic computer terminal thing that you can order through. I selected the pay by cash option, expecting that I would be called to the counter to pay. Half an hour later, something like that, something ridiculous, I realized that I actually had to get their attention myself, and then they would begin to process and make my order. So that was one thing. Another would be comfort culture. The beautiful gardens and different types of houses they have all around. It's very different to the standard, concrete, blocky, faded paint of Indonesia. Yeah. Any fun facts or something I'd like to share? Nothing comes to mind immediately. Just as a product of time and distance, I know that I've fallen out of contact with a lot of you. If you want to talk, please reach out. I'd love to talk. I can't promise I'll always respond in a timely manner, but I still enjoy hearing from you and speaking to you. I value you all. So yeah, thank you Vanya and Johan for putting all of this together.
Hey guys, it's Aurelia. Making this video for our class. Insert something funny here, I don't know. I'm currently still living in the Netherlands. It's great. Currently, the sun is shining. You know, that doesn't happen here often. What keeps me busy usually is I go to school. I study international business, mainly marketing. It's pretty fun. Nothing special so far. Getting ready for internships and exchange abroad. Not sure where I want to go yet, but I will figure that out in time. I also work at an Indonesian toko. That is, you know, it's decent. It's fun. Nothing special. I've been working there for a while. My biggest surprise after high school would probably be how chill the rest of the world is compared to how everybody was explaining it. If this is controversial, I'm sorry. Love you guys, but for real, like, shit got way too out of hand there. Like, let's be real. Any new hobbies? No clue. I still paint. I play a fuck ton of Animal Crossing. It's literally like maybe an unhealthy amount of Animal Crossing, but it's nice. And I go to scouting, which you all think is making like fires and shit. No, it's drinking. Just kidding. It is actually like making fires and survival skills and stuff like that. But you know, student scouting is also a lot of drinking. But you can edit that out. Any like adult wins? I bought a car. I think that's an adult win. I moved out of my parents' house, but I moved into their second house with roommates. It's great. It's nice. It's fun, you know? Life is never dull. I'm living my friend's moment. You know, like the fucking video that I made years ago. What probably changed the most about me in high school is I got bangs. Like, I never expected that. Well, not like bangs, but like curtain bangs. Never thought I would do that. I don't know. I wouldn't know what else to say. What I miss about Hiss or Santani? Hiss, the item cleanse I could order. Cause that was really good. What else about Santani? My dogs. Love them to death. But I did loving them to death because they're all dead. I wasn't there when they died though, but they are all gone. Yay. Not yay, but it's fine. Culture shock that I experienced after I had left Hiss's bubble. I wouldn't know. I was never really in the Hiss bubble. Moving on. Any fun facts or something you would like to share? I have over 200 fucking Smiskies. These little dudes. But they're all different. I will send a picture. Maybe you can insert it like here. But I have over 200. They are all scattered throughout my house, and they're all on my the table where my TV is placed on. But they're great. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. A little zoom in. Like, wow, look at her. Oh my god. Okay, bye.
Hey guys, I hope everyone is well. I'm currently recording in Chicago. Micah and I are just visiting family, and yeah, but we're usually based in Southern Maryland. Yeah, we've been up to just spending a lot of time with family, and I've been up to just meditating and spending time with Jesus. I've been trying not to be too busy because I'm coming out of a very busy season of college. So yeah, I've been trying not to be busy. A surprise I had about real adult life is that growing older every year is not as bad as it seems. Yeah, some adult wins I've had through the grace of God was getting married to Micah. That's been awesome. And also graduating from college last year. Yeah, and what's really exciting coming forward is Micah and I are preparing to go back to Papua to do Bible translation. So that's super exciting. Yeah, what changed most about me from high school, I would say, is Jesus literally flipped my life upside down, like completely. Something I miss about Santani is being surrounded by like people in the community who just really love showing the love of Jesus. And back then I didn't even realize, how great that is when that's just what you grew up with. But, I've come to learn that that's actually really rare and it's really awesome. So a culture shock I had was realizing that a lot of people have not lived in 3+ countries. I wish you all well and hope to see some of you soon.
Hi guys, Pearl Cover here. I am currently living in my home country, Papua New Guinea, in my mother's province, which is named Goroka. At the moment, life has been busy and been bumped up with school assignments. I'm currently doing my final year at the University of Goroka, undertaking or studying language and literature. I think the biggest surprise for me when I left HIS in 2018 was the culture shock we had here, especially the different type of society that I lived in back in Indonesia compared to here. Coming back to my hometown, it was a big change and a challenge, but happened. We made it through. And the hobby for me, I think I am still playing basketball for sure. Started elementary, middle school, now high school, now university. I'm still playing. And I think the other hobby that I found out is I love cooking and mostly singing as well. Any big wins in life? I think one of the big wins in life at the moment is I am looking forward to graduating next year. And the other news or big wins is I am soon to be engaged and currently in almost a 2-year relationship. One thing that changed me the most during high school is definitely my characteristics. It shaped my personality coming back here. I can tell the difference from being raised in an international school and coming back here to private public schools. And most importantly, my faith. Really changed my faith. Coming back here has really tested my faith and has helped me draw near to God. I think there's a lot of many reasons for me to think of missing HIS and Santani, but I think one thing about HIS that I miss a lot is the community. People are just different and loving and caring, whether we're from different races or different countries. And the one thing about Sentani that I miss is the food. The street food, nasi uduk, nasi goreng, gorengan in the morning you wake up to go look for. And yeah, the street lights, motorcycle rides, just being free. I think one of the most culture shocks that I've experienced here, leaving HIS compound, is the differences. HIS is more grounded, it's more focused. In schools here, it's quite different. People have different way of living, lifestyles, the way they do things. So it took me probably a year to try to settle in, adapt to it. One fun fact, or one thing I'd like to share, is here in the school they offer scholarships of a different world language, so I might be coming back to Indonesia. See you guys.
Hello! So I graduated college last year, 2025, and currently I am working for a Japanese accounting firm as an accountant, and I'm based in New Jersey. And then in 2 weeks I'll be pursuing my master's in business analytics. So I'll be doing both of that at the same time with my job. What else? I would say the greatest surprise about life after graduating high school is how quickly things change. One moment you're all in Sentani in HIS with your high school friends, and the next everyone is living in different countries, building their own careers, figuring out life on their own, and also just coming to the realization that life is a lot less figured out than I thought it would be. I think what changed most about me since high school is becoming a lot more independent and learning more about who I am outside of the environments I grew up in. And what I miss most about Sentani and HIS, I would say how small the community is. Our class was so small that everything felt a lot more personal and special, like Friday night games or what OE 100%. Those are just experiences and memories you can't really truly explain to other people unless they've lived it too. So yeah, that's it. I've just been working, navigating post-grad life, figuring out adulthood. Yeah.
Well, hello everybody. Johan here. Yeah, Vanya's probably kind of annoyed at me for being one of the latest to send in a video. But here I am making it. Right now I'm living in the Netherlands, still with my parents in this house. There's my couch. I live up in a loft up there. My desk is over there. And it is a mess because I just came back from a whole month traveling around the west coast of Canada and North America. Canada and the States. So I'm kind of jet lagged, and that's why it's been hectic and I'm late with sending in this video. What's been keeping me busy these days? I just graduated my master's in marketing from the University of Amsterdam, and I had a part-time job next to that. I did 16 hours a week, and now I'm doing 24 hours a week, and I'm just sitting out my contract, my year contract with that. Just doing some administration tasks and HR and office management tasks for this financial cooperation between the 3 biggest banks in the Netherlands. And I'm hoping, I'm just in this space of praying and thinking about what I'm gonna do after my contract ends. I do want to work in the direction of marketing, but I still have a lot of ideas of what I kind of want to do before I would go full-time working. So some ideas that have floated by is doing a year volunteering for an OM ship, like the Doulos Hope or the Logos Hope, or maybe doing a year of Bible school. The one that's at the forefront at the moment is I want to probably live in the Philippines for a year, and learn my mom's language and work part-time there. But we'll see where God leads me. The biggest surprise about real life after graduating high school, I don't know. It's definitely been tough. Well, I didn't graduate high school in HIS, so it was definitely tough, like, coming here to the Netherlands, you know, having culture shock, you know, kind of being out of that bubble, of that missionary bubble. I mean, I guess I was young as well, so it's like out of the bubble, but also, you know, growing up, you just encounter so much more of the world and of, yeah, just, I don't know, you guys have lived life, you know how it is, just, yeah, it's a lot. I was kind of depressed in the beginning coming here, but, yeah, that's kind of where my hobby comes in, because one of the ways I was able to just process my emotions and my feelings has been through music. I mean, you see all my guitars there. And since I came here to the Netherlands, I've been working on teaching myself music production and stuff like that. So I love listening to music, writing music, and I even released a few songs out on Spotify, so you could find me there. Spotify, Apple Music, those sort of things. Yeah, any adult wins? I mean, yeah, I graduated. That's about it for now. And a lot of things have changed about me from high school, and from HIS and being there. I think I've become more introverted a little bit than I was when I was younger. And I just really miss the mountains. I miss Mount Cyclops because it's so flat here in the Netherlands. And I miss Indonesian food. I miss the tropics. It's so cold. I hate the winters. Yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, and the reason for me traveling to the West Coast was because I was visiting my girlfriend, who lives in New Mexico, for I was visiting her for a graduation ceremony, because she graduated from her bachelor's. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm really looking forward to possibly making a class reunion happen. I'm thinking and praying about it and planning that. I hope that others would be really interested in actually seeing that come to life, but we'll see how and when and if that happens. So I'm working on it together with Lachlan, and any help from you guys would be appreciated. So oh yeah, and Vanya's helping out as well and making this video possible. So thank you, Vanya, and thank you for listening to me rant, and hope to see some of you guys soon in the future in real life. Bye.
Hi, I'm Mike Edel, and this little song. Went to church and then I heard the preacher say, turn to Jesus and he'll take your sins away. Hold on, put your hand on the plow and you'll ride on. Hold on, keep your hand on the plow and you'll ride on.
So some questions. My hands on the plow. Living in Southern Maryland. Welcome, Maryland, just south of DC. Although I'm in Chicago right now, visiting. And we'll be going back to Indonesia soon, hopefully in September, to be full-time missionaries, Gloria and I, ourselves. So that's exciting. Question 2, what's been keeping me busy these days? Preaching, visiting churches, doing presentations, learning Greek and Hebrew before that. I play this banjo every day, so that's fun as well. And my wife keeps me a little busy as well. What is the biggest surprise about real life after graduating high school? Biggest surprise is there was a demon-possessed woman at college. That was pretty surprising. I was not expecting that. And yeah, that was crazy. 4, any adult wins? Well, I did graduate. I did get married to Gloria. And I learned Greek and Hebrew, so I can read the Bible in the original languages and translate it. And I built a 3rd floor under our house, which is a little different from purchasing a house, but it's as good as the same to us. We're using that house there in Southern Maryland while we're in the States. What changed most about you from high school? Number 5. Well, my beard's a little thicker, so there's that, I guess. And I learned this instrument, so that's fun. And I hope I have grown in virtue and humility and in other good ways. I think I've grown in other good ways. 6, what do you miss about HIS and Santani? I would say I miss probably all of y'all, all just friends and just having good times, you know, lounging about together. Number 7, what was a culture shock you experienced after you left the HIS bubble? Well, it was interesting going back to when we went to Liberty University. There were some churches when that demon-possessed woman saga was going on, and they didn't believe in demons or anything like that, like still being around, even though they were churches. So that was weird, and that was a pretty big cultural difference from being overseas. And then 8, any fun fact or something else you would like to share? Fun fact, yeah, fun fact, I had a bone spike growing in my mouth on my wedding day. That sucked, because when I got my wisdom teeth removed, apparently it like splintered the jaw a little, so the bones just like grew back into my mouth and made like a big spike. And so on my honeymoon, we had to get it grafted off with a bone file during our honeymoon, and that was in the same town where the Andy Griffith Show was filmed, Mayberry, so that's pretty fun. All right, well, that's all I have, and keep your hand on the plow and ride on. That's my message to you all. I'm serving the Lord, and it's pretty great, having a great time, and being married is awesome, and I hope I see you all soon. Thank you.